If there is one thing that the Vatican knows how to do well, besides preserving religious traditions, it is to keep secrets. For centuries, the Catholic Church has been one of the most influential power centers in the world, accumulating mysteries ranging from prohibited books to bizarre reports of exorcisms and to possible contacts with aliens. Have you ever wondered what else can be hidden behind the doors of one of the most secret institutions in history? Some of these stories have been censored, some simply ignored, but they all have something in common: they put the official version of the Church in check. What happened to the 14 books taken from the Bible? What do UFO documents say in the secret archives? And why would the Vatican fund a movie that contradicts his own values? The answer to these questions may be much closer than we imagined, or perhaps buried at 53 miles in the Vatican's coffers. Get ready for a trip through the darkest secrets of the Holy See. From bizarre judgments of dead popes to apocalyptic prophecy hidden from the public, each revelation will make you question what you thought you knew about the Catholic Church. But beware, after knowing these stories, your view of the Vatican will never be the same. Have you ever wondered why the Bible we know today is not exactly the same as our ancestors read centuries ago? For it is, in 1684, the Vatican decided that some texts, the so-called Apocrypha, should simply disappear from the sacred pages without clear explanations. Many say this happened because these texts did not fit the official narrative of the Catholic Church, raising suspicions of religious censorship and occultism. Among the lost books of the Bible, we have fascinating and controversial stories, some addressing surprising prophecies and supernatural events that would make Gabriel Amorth rethink his more than 70,000 exorcisms performed. Wouldn't it be interesting to find out what the Vatican considered so dangerous to hide in his secret files? After all, 53 miles of hidden documents cannot just be secret recipes of the Pope. Of course, we need not become theologians or conspiracy specialists to understand the importance of these forgotten works. Just start with more affordable works, such as Bart Ehrman's Apocryphan Gospels, which bring an enlightening look at these controversial texts. And remember, exploring these forbidden pages not only expands your view of spirituality, but also teaches to question what we were taught as absolute truth. If you think aliens and UFOs are just about science fiction movies, you may need to rethink your ideas. Russian professor Genrikh Ludwig would have found, in the mysterious Vatican's mysterious files, hidden documents revealing the presence of extraterrestrials in ancient civilizations and, amazingly, even the use of ancient nuclear weapons. Can you imagine the Pope reading this with a cup of coffee? Many experts claim that the Catholic Church has censored these discoveries for fearing popular reaction to such a disturbing truth. After all, it is not every day that documents describe aliens influencing historical events. Perhaps the truth is not just out there, but 53 miles deep, buried under the Vatican, between forbidden books and yellowish papers over time. To start your journey in this fascinating subject, look for books like Were the Astronaut Gods? By Eric von Daniken, which offers practical and historical examples about possible extraterrestrial encounters in the past of humanity. Remember, questioning is the first step in releasing your mind from the limitations imposed by religious censorship. And who knows, so you don't discover hidden truths yourself. When we talk about Vatican, we think of saints, masses, and prayers, right? But what if I told you that the Vatican himself was the scene of supernatural events worthy of the best horror movies? Gabriel Amorth, the famous exorcist who conducted more than 70,000 exorcisms, clearly stated that the devil was infiltrated even in the highest spheres of the Catholic Church, influencing figures such as Pope John Paul II. It may seem like movie, but a woman attacked Pope Benedict XVI under suspicious circumstances, which made a lot of people remember the frightening prophecies about the Antichrist. Imagine only the chaos that would be discovered that the Vatican, known for keeping secrets as valuable as those of Fatima, may also have been the scene of the action of hidden forces that influence even global political decisions. If you want to better understand how occultism and obscure forces can act in religious institutions, start reading The Last Exorcist, Gabriel Amorth himself, where he reveals behind the scenes of impressive cases. And you need not be afraid. Knowing more about these mysteries can be just what will protect you. After all, knowledge will always be your best defense against any threat, whether supernatural or not. If there is something that leaves the Catholic Church restless to this day, they are the famous secrets of Fatima, revealed by the Virgin Mary in 1917 to 3 Portuguese children. The first prophecies spoke of wars and tragedies, but what really moves people's imagination is the third secret carefully scared in the Vatican's secret archives and surrounded by conspiracy and religious censorship. It is speculated that this view involved apocalyptic events, perhaps related to Antichrist or old nuclear weapons, something too scary to be publicized to the public. The situation is so mysterious that even Gabriel Amorth, famous for his exorcisms, suggested that hidden forces could be involved in this secret. After all, if even the Vatican thought it best to hide, it must be something really impactful. Do you agree? To start diving into this mystery, I recommend you read Steve Barry's book The Third Secret, which mixes historical facts and fiction with great skill. Remember, unraveling mysteries like these is not only for curiosity, but also to teach us to think beyond official versions, revealing truths that can completely change our perception of the world. Have you ever imagined watching an extraterrestrial phenomenon directly about the Vatican? For it is, in 2007, cameras captured a mysterious brilliant and orange album hanging calmly over St. Peter's Basilica, surprising tourists and religious. Of course, the Vatican acted fast to minimize the event, again awakening theories about censorship and UFO-related hidden documents. Many believe that the incident reinforces previous reports, including research by Professor Genrich Ludwig, about secret files that would prove old connections between the Catholic Church and extraterrestrial civilizations. The idea is not so absurd when we think the Bible already mentions carriages of fire in heaven, right? Perhaps we are facing a much larger conspiracy, hidden under 53 miles of files in the Vatican's heart. For those who want to deepen the investigation into this intriguing event, I recommend the documentary UFOs: The Secret Evidence. You can start watching and comparing similar cases around the world. After all, questioning the reality that was presented to us not only opens doors to new perspectives, but also allows you to become a protagonist in the search for truths that few dare to face. When it comes to secrets, the Vatican saves no effort to preserve his official narrative. Among the documents hidden in their secret archives is the so-called Lost Gospel, a 6th century manuscript that suggests something unthinkable for many faithful, that Jesus would have married Mary Magdalene and had children. Can you imagine the impact of this information on the religious world? Of course, the Catholic Church quickly censorized this story by classifying it among the lost books of the Bible, precisely because it profoundly challenges the traditional image of Jesus. For some, it is just a conspiracy theory, but we must not forget that religious censorship has removed at least 14 other biblical books earlier, creating space for doubt and debate about what the truth behind this lost gospel would be. Want to explore more about this? Start by reading Dan Brown's bestseller Vinci's Code, which addresses this idea, combining historical facts with suspense and mystery. Remember, questioning is healthy, especially when it comes to texts as influential as the Bible. After all, the truth may be hidden in places where you least expect it, even under the Vatican's banners. If you think the Vatican invests only in charity and religious works, I feel, but it is far from the truth. In a decision that surprised even the most skeptical, the Catholic Church decided to secretly invest in the movie Rocketman, a production that directly contradicts its own moral values. It sounds like a ready joke, but unfortunately it is not. Of course, this has raised heated debates about the institution's ethics and coherence. After all, how can the Vatican, known as strict religious censorship and strict control over narratives such as the lost books of the Bible, finance such contradictory films? This makes many people question the level of political and financial influence hidden that the institution exerts worldwide. To better understand how financial decisions can reveal deep secrets of seemingly immaculate organizations, I recommend reading Vatican S.A. by Gianluigi Nuzzi, which details the Church's financial backstage. You will realize that being aware of the details may not only protect your money, but also reveal surprising truths hidden behind closed doors, especially those watched by the Pope. Believe it if you want, the Vatican has starred in scenes worthy of medieval horror movies. Just imagine, in 897, Pope Stephen VI decided to dig up his predecessor, the Pope Formosus, to judge him for crimes such as usurping the papacy. Exactly, A trial entitled To the Deceased sitting on the defendant's bank in Hollywood's best script could overcome it. After finding Formosus guilty, his body was thrown into the river as a symbolic punishment. This story may seem absurd today, but clearly shows how far the dispute for power within the Catholic Church can go. It is no surprise that cases are little disclosed, often being treated as documents hidden in the Vatican's secret files. If stories like this arouse their curiosity about the crimes and scandals of history, I recommend starting by reading the book A Non-Told Story: Popes and His Sins by Claudio Rendina. Knowing these little disseminated stories is essential not only to better understand the past, but also to realize that even seemingly untouchable institutions have their secrets stored under 7 keys. You have probably heard of the legendary Vatican secret files, a huge collection containing over 1,200 years of carefully stored documents, accessible only to a small group of finger-chosen scholars. There are records ranging from Gabriel Amorth's exorcisms to real evidence about extraterrestrial and UFOs. And it is no exaggeration to imagine why so much mystery after all. There are approximately 53 miles of hidden documents that would reveal political influences, Vatican crimes, and perhaps even compromising details about religious censorship and forbidden books, such as the lost books of the Bible. Wouldn't it be fascinating to take a look at these secret papers, even for a few minutes? If you want to start finding more about these amazing stories, a great suggestion is the book Vatican Secret Archives by Jagors Gorny, which explores several intriguing cases related to the Catholic Church. Remember, seeking knowledge is more than curiosity. It is an attitude that can transform its way of seeing the world, especially when there are so many truths hidden out there waiting to be discovered. If I told you that the Vatican has one of the highest crime rates in the world, would you believe? Well, as contradictory as it seems, the small city-state leads the per capita ranking, and it is not because of offline priests, but for the huge flow of tourists who attract wallet scouts and opportunists. With only about 800 residents, but receiving millions of visitors a year, the Vatican becomes a paradise for small crimes, such as theft and blows. Despite being always under surveillance and having the famous Swiss Guard, crimes there happen with a surprising frequency, especially in the crowd of St. Peter's Square. If you intend to visit the Vatican one day, be aware and follow some security tips, such as avoiding open bags and always keeping your belongings in sight. To understand more about how crime operates in different parts of the world, a good book is The Economy of Crime by Stephen D. Levitt, which shows how unexpected factors can influence criminal indices to the most unlikely places. After diving in these 10 hidden secrets of the Vatican, it is clear that there is much more in the shadows of the Catholic Church than we imagine. Hidden documents, religious censorship, sinister exorcisms, and even possible extraterrestrial connections, all this is part of a story that few know and that the institution itself does not seem to want to discover. But why? What else can be locked in the Vatican coffers, away from the public eyes? The truth is that the more we investigate, the more we realize that the official history can be just a carefully shaped version. The censorship of biblical books, political influences, hidden crimes, and even prophecies never revealed lead us to a fundamental question: are we just receiving a fraction of the truth? Or is the reality so shocking that it can never be completely exposed? So which of these secrets surprised you the most? Do you believe the Vatican really hides information that could change the way we see the story? Leave your comment below and share this video with those who need to know these mysteries. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to continue exploring the darkest secrets in the world.